Hi, fifth graders. Today, we're going to do something called a coordinate plane or coordinate graphing. You're going to want this page, and then you have these two practice pages that you're going to want to. All right? So, let's start with this. This is called a coordinate plane. Coordinate plane. Okay, a coordinate plane is basically when you take there are two number lines. Okay, this isn't super correct because this should be, I think it printed without the little arrows because it looks like it got cut off a little bit. But this should continue on and on in both directions because number lines don't end, right? There's a spot in the middle. This middle part is called an origin. Origin. Okay, and that's where the two number lines cross, and that is called 0. It's actually 0, 0. Okay, so it's a number line that goes positive and negative, and this one goes positive and negative. All right, they have specific names. So this line that goes the same as like the horizon, the horizontal line, is called the x-axis. Okay, that's the x-axis. And this one that goes up and down, this line is called the y-axis. All right. Now, when you get to 6th grade, you are going to have to know all the different parts of this whole grid. You're going to have to be able to identify any point and draw pictures using the whole coordinate plane. All right. There's actually 4 different parts. They're called quadrants, and it's the first quadrant starts here, and we use our Roman numerals to label them. This is quadrant 1. Quadrant 2, it goes in a circle, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. You, in 5th grade, only have to be able to know quadrant 1, and you need to know how to do it very well. So, we're going to learn a little bit about this. Too bad, if we were in class, we would be having, I have a really fun lesson, but that's okay. We'll do this. Every single place in the quadrant has a label or a name, okay? So let's say I had a little rectangle here. Okay, my rectangle takes up this space right here. It has 4 coordinates. It has 4 corners. All right, and you want to know the location of this rectangle. Well, the easiest way to do that is to figure out the location at each of those points, each of the rectangle's vertices. So, in order to do that, you find out the location of each of these spots. When we tell a location, we always start with the x. That's the bottom. We start with the x, and then we say the y. And we do it in something called an ordered pair. Okay, an ordered pair. Pair means 2, right? So we put 2 numbers down, and we always put the x's number first. All right, so think of it kind of like a multiplication chart. So let's start with this one right here. Okay, we write the number it goes to on the x first. So it goes to the 3, so we would write 3 and put a comma, and then it goes to the 1, so we write 1, and then we put parentheses around it. And that's the location of that point. It's 3, 1. All right, it means it's x3 and the y is 1. What about this spot? This one right here. This one right here also goes to 3. X is 3. But on the y, it goes to the 2. So the location of that spot is 3, 2. This one right here, it goes to the 5 on the x. And it goes to the 1 on the y. So you gotta always remember x goes first. And then for this one, the x goes to the 5 and the y goes to the 2. So x first, y second. And that's the location of all the points of that rectangle. Isn't that cool? Well, we're going to practice this a bunch, and you're actually going to be using this tomorrow as well. All right, so first, to practice, we're going to write our ordered pairs for these points. So I know that's your copy is a little fuzzy, but that's okay. You can still read it. So if it says find the coordinates for A, you go over here and you find A. Now remember, this is the x-axis, this is the y. We always do x first. So x goes to the 3 and y goes to the 2. So we would write 3, 2. All right, let's do B. Okay, here's B. We do x first. B goes to the 5. Y goes to the 6. So 5, 6. All right, it is your turn. Okay, you go try C. All right, you can pause this video and finish those 4, all right? Give it a try. Okay, you can pause this video if you want to do it now. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna do it again. Some new points. Okay, here's A. So x-axis first. So A is 2. So 2. Y is 10. So 2, 10. X first, then Y. Okay, B. X is 8. Y is 10. So 8, 10. All right, your turn again. All right, you're gonna finish those last ones practicing finding your numbers. The last thing we're gonna do, the last practice thing we're gonna do is we're gonna find the distance between a couple of points. All right, so for example, this says find the distance between A and F. So here's A and here's F. What is the distance between those points? Okay, if A is on the 2 and F is on the 10, what's the difference between those two? Well, 10 minus 2 is what? Write it down. What's the distance between A and B? Now we're going the opposite way. Here's A and here's B. What's the difference between those two? If A is 2 and B is 8, what's the difference between 8 and 2? Write it down. All right, when you have finished this practicing, make sure you know it and you're ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to use our knowledge to make a picture. Call me if you get stuck.